Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I have two figures to show you guys, that being the Ignited Foxy and Ignited Freddy. Ignited Freddy can't really stand on his own, so that's why I have him laying down. Ignited Foxy, he can stand, so I don't know why he's deciding to take a rest, but yeah, anyways, I guess the first figure I'll start with is Ignited Foxy. Okay, so here is Ignited Foxy. Honestly, I think he came out pretty good looking. Here he is compared to actual Ignited Foxy. He's probably in a different pose, but anyways, here he is. Honestly, I think he came out really good. I actually think he came out pretty accurate to how he looks like in the game, though he doesn't look too accurate, but his proportions are a bit off. But other than that, I think he's fine. I probably could have used a lighter color on the brown and stuff, but other than that, I think he looks pretty good. And now, so how I made him is, I don't know why my setup keeps just being complete pain in the butt today, but okay. Anyways, so how I made this guy, as you can see, I have an endoskeleton torso. I got that from my radioactive Foxy figure, and then yeah, it was pretty hard to get out. I had to use like a hammer and like pliers and a screwdriver. It's pretty hard to get him out, but I did it in like 10 minutes or some 15 minutes, so it wasn't too hard. And then his arm, you know, this is from a Scrap Baby figure, well, bootleg one to be exact, so don't get worried. It's a bootleg Scrap Baby arm. Then this is a radioactive Foxy endoskeleton arm. This is a radioactive Foxy arm again. You can probably see from this little endoskeleton piece sticking out. Then I used an Ennard hand because the radioactive Foxy endoskeleton hand I was gonna use, I lost it somehow. So yeah, I guess I just had to use the Ennard hand. I had an extra one of these, by the way, so that's why I'm using it. I like it better anyways than the other one. And then for his head, I used the Grim Foxy figure for that. I used the Grim Foxy because I think it looked more the most accurate like Foxy head to Withered Foxy, so that's why I decided to use him. And then his feet are also by Grim Foxy. Well, what am I saying? By Grim Foxy? No, they're used from Grim Foxy, and I sculpted on these little toes because he does have the Fnaf 2 endo, so I had to cut off like half of his foot and then glue on like those toes right there. And then the half of his foot that I cut off is like what I used to make this piece on his endoskeleton torso. And then for his hook, yeah, I don't like it honestly, but I have no other like spare hook I can use. So yeah, and I originally had a Rockstar Foxy hook, and I originally also had a radioactive Foxy endoskeleton arm, but I lost those somehow. I don't know where they at, but I looked forever for them. I couldn't find them, so I'm like, okay, let's have to remake the arm, I guess. But yeah, here is Ignited Foxy. I used a Dremel on him and stuff, sculpted his snout. I'm not really proud of his nose, but yeah, here he is. Honestly, he's really good. My only issue is that I wish I like cut out open with this of a Dremel and like at least made like somewhat of a hole in here, because like in the actual game, Ignited Foxy does have like a hole there. That's why I painted these two little silver spots, because he has like an endoskeleton head showing out like how Withered Foxy does. So I really wish I did that, but I did not notice that in the reference images until like I started painting this guy. So yeah, anyways, that's it I have to say for Ignited Foxy. I'll move on to Ignited Freddy now. So here is Ignited Freddy. Oh, okay. But yeah, he's my favorite Ignited animatronic. So I'm glad I did a good job on making him. At least I think I did a good job. You guys can let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'd like to see that. But yeah, here it is. He was honestly a lot easier to make than Ignited Foxy. You could probably tell just because there's a lot less endoskeleton pieces and detail. But honestly, I think he looks better than my Ignited Foxy, if I'm being honest. I just like him more. I feel like he came out a better figure than Ignited Foxy did. But yeah, how I made him basically is I used Radioactive Foxy's feet. By the way, I only used one Radioactive Foxy figure to make these two. But yeah, I used his endo feet. Then I sculpted on his actual like bare feet and stuff. And then I used a pig patch torso and thighs. By the way, it was from a bootleg. That's why the joints look like that. The joints look like that. It's from a bootleg. Yeah, this joint also doesn't stay on because it's a bootleg. But that's fine. Well, I mean, this isn't bootleg, but this part is. But yeah, here he is. I did some sculpting on the torso to make it look more like Ignited Freddy's torso does instead of pig patch. Here's his two buttons. Here's his bow tie. I can barely see it, honestly. I made him way too dark of a brown. He has an endoskeleton piece right here from a Radioactive Foxy figure. So yeah, there it is. these two shoulder pieces, bicep areas, whatever. But yeah, guys, that's it for these two figures. I think they came out really good. I like them. It took me a lot longer to make than I thought, so yeah, they definitely took. They're pretty hard customs, honestly. These are like the hardest customs I've done in like probably like a year, honestly. Yeah, I'd say like in a year. Pretty hard to make. Definitely a lot of frustration, but I still did it in like 2 days. So I think these figures came out really good. I'd like to see what you guys think in the comments of these figures. If they're bad or good, whatever. I like them personally, but yeah. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. Also, I'm gonna have a tutorial out for these two tomorrow, so if you guys want to make these two figures, or just see how I made them in like in detailed process of how I made these guys, I'm gonna have a tutorial out tomorrow or the day after. It depends how long it takes me to edit it. But yeah, I'm gonna have a tutorial if you guys want to make them. Just warning though, they are pretty hard to make, honestly. So if you don't already have a lot of experience in customs, you probably shouldn't do it. But honestly, just go for it. Honestly, if you don't, you can choose it if you want. But just be warned, they are pretty hard, and they kind of require like a bunch of figures too. I mean, you don't have to use a bunch of figures. Like, you don't have to use Dreadbear's arms right here. You don't have to use Dreadbear's head. You can use a Fnaf 1 Freddy head. You don't have to use Grim Foxy's head. You can use a Fnaf 1 Foxy head or whatever. You don't have to use Endo's hand. You can use like Scrap Babies or something. Just like something that, like, you know, resembles the ignited animatronics, and that's really all that matters. So you don't really need like 10 figures to make these guys. It's just how I made them is just I had a bunch of spare parts, so I just used that to make these guys. That's how I make a bunch of my customs now. I have a bunch of spare figures and like parts and stuff, and that's just how I make them. So it's like, yeah, you don't have to have everything be specific, you know. Like, this doesn't have to be a radioactive Foxy endoskeleton arm. This could be like an Ennard arm for all I care. Like, you know, this is just something that resembles it. Like, oh, this is an endoskeleton part. Okay, let's get an endoskeleton part. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And please like and subscribe. I'm begging you.